If you want to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below. In Michigan, woman who was unalived along with her two young daughters over the weekend may have been preparing to leave the partner who committed the crime. On Saturday, police found Cindy Klaus, 35, going inside her Lee Township, Mitch, home along with her daughters, Autumn Hagger, 13, and Mackenzie Hagger, 10. Klaus's long-term boyfriend, Roger Kyle Hagger, 34, who was the girl's father, was also deceased at the scene. A relative had stopped by the house to check on the family around 12:30 p.m. after he hadn't heard back from Klaus in more than 24 hours. After looking through a window, the relative saw one of the girls unresponsive in a bedroom, prompting him to call 911. All of the deceased passed from baneful wounds, according to the Allegan County Sheriff's Office. Allegan County Sheriff Frank Baker said Klaus had been planning to leave Hagger before the event. My understanding is she reached out to a co-worker or friend to advise them she was looking to leave the relationship and to get her and the children out, he said. Baker said there were signs that Klaus was packing up to leave immediately before the event. That may have been what sparked this tragic event. Klaus's sister Amy told the Detroit News that Hagger was controlling, but that no one thought he'd commit such an act. We never expected him to be capable of hurting the girls. There was a side to him we didn't know. If we did know, we would have helped her leave, she said. Amy told the outlet that Klaus had worked at a nursing home and owned chickens, 2 goats, a pig, and dogs. She remembered Autumn Hagger as a goofball that loved with her whole heart and wanted to be a dermatologist, while Mackenzie Hagger reportedly loved babies, sunflowers, and makeup. So yet again, another story. My condolences to the families, to the friends, to the kids. Um, like I said, it's tough. It's a very tough thing. And back at it again. This dude basically knew that she was going to leave him, and he decided to take this opportune moment to pull the, well, if I can't have you, then nobody can. And he decided to do what it is that he decided to do. And it's amazing to me that you have people out here with this type of mentality as if there aren't 7 billion people out here. Um, it amazes me that people will find a way to justify their actions, even though they know that these actions are 100% wrong. You, as an individual, no matter how you feel, you don't have the right, just because you are in a marriage or you're in a relationship or whatever it is, you don't have the right to directly affect others, to inflict this type of hurt onto everybody else just because you're hurt. And this is when I've stated to people before that hurt people hurt people. So, I'm just still wondering, where is the reflective majority, right? Where's the majority of the United States when it comes to their own people doing these actions? As I've stated before, these are daily, weekly, monthly, yearly actions that continuously take place day in and day out. And it seems as though that community doesn't want to do anything. They tend not to really say anything about it. Um, you'll have family members that'll either say one of two things: either that the family seemed wholesome, they seemed great, like nothing was wrong, or that they knew something was up, they just weren't too sure. And my main thing that I've always told people is that even if you feel that everything is all right, you should still question. You should still make sure. You should still try to maybe do a little bit of prying to see what it is that you can find. Because uh, no matter how perfect something may seem, there's always something wrong, right? No matter, how perfect a diamond or whatever it is, if you really technically, take a very, very, very good look at it, you might still find some imperfections, right? But as I stated before, that's when you analyze and you'll find those imperfections. But if you're not trying to analyze, you're just going to look at a diamond and say that it's perfect. It's going to shine forever. It has no impurities. It has no imperfections at all, right? And this is why I've stated that families should be, especially when there's kids involved, families should always be involved, right? talking with the kids, talking with either spouses, and making sure that everything is completely fine and dandy. Um, Keeping up to date with a lot of situations, because maybe the either one of the spouses, depending on who it is, maybe they can't specifically pick up certain things, right? But the family can. And this is when the family can actually act, and they can devise a plan to get things going. The problem that took place here is she realized that there was something wrong, right? And no, this was just her boyfriend. And this is, I'm going to go to take it to a whole another level, when I've consistently told and made examples to basically state, hey, women, stop moving your kids in with these guys. Stop moving in with these guys because you don't specifically know them. If anything basically takes place, you not only are jeopardizing your life, you're jeopardizing the life of your children as well. And that's clear cut what happened here. Again, this was her boyfriend that she was living with, not a husband. Not a husband. So realistically, they should have had separate places. At least that would have, in a sense, allowed her potentially some type of time and protection, right? Because he's not specifically there, so he has no say so on what it is that she's doing or how it is that she's living, or if she's trying to move away. There's nothing he can sit up there and say, because it's not going to automatically register. She would have enough breathing room to do so if she wanted, because there would be spaces in between where he lives and where she lives. But due to the fact that she decided that she wanted to live with this random dude, and I'm just going to call him random because, again, this is not her fiance. This is not her husband. This was just a boyfriend. This is what inevitably ended up happening. And this is why I've told women, like, yo, don't be moving in guys or moving in with guys. And especially if you want to do that by yourself, that's completely fine and dandy. Go ahead, do you, be great, right? That's your life. But you don't have that ability to do that when you got kids. You like that's a liability now. You're potentially putting them in harm's way. You're endangering their lives. It's cool if you want to endanger your life. Go ahead and do you. It's your life to live. But you do not have the right as a parent, as a mother, to potentially endanger the lives of your children just because you're lonely, just because you're single, just because, you know, you want to continue on with life the way that you should, that you feel that you should be able to continue. When you got kids, like, yo, there are certain things that are priorities. Those kids are a priority. If you decided at a point in time to commit to whatever relationships and be with whatever guys, that was what you decided to do. Now you have to deal with the responsibility that your life is no longer your own. All of the stuff that you want is now on the back burner. It's not about them kids. You got to make sure that they're safe and sound. You got to make sure that they are all right. They didn't ask to be here. It's not their fault that you're not able to continue your life as a single woman. But now it is your responsibility to put all your stuff to the side and to focus on them, because that's what you created, right? I just wish that you would have, more families step up. I wish that more women would, in a sense, heed the words and the warnings of, of men when they try to tell them, like, yo, just focus on you, just focus on the kids, because that is what is best. um like I said, it's terrible that this happened, but what you going to do. What's already done is pretty much done. The only thing that you can hope is that women out there will use this story as an example, as what to look out for, and what not to do, so that they don't end up becoming a story along with their kids.